So now we know that there are all these different devices. There's the moment of panic that happens when your new iPhone arrives, and you know that now you have to do the upgrade from one device to the next. Over the years, between the various upgrades, I've lost pictures, I've lost contacts, I've lost all sorts of things. So I was quite keen this time to get it right and make sure there wasn't a pained data loss. So the first thing that I'd say is that I stayed on version 5 for the Apple software. The reason I did that was the maps went missing and I used them quite a lot. With the advent of the iPhone 5, so sorry, that was on the iPhone 4. With the advent of the iPhone 5, obviously you don't have that choice. You have to have the upgrade software. So my first concern was if I backed up the iPhone 4 onto my iTunes, would I then be able to transfer it directly to the iPhone 5 when I did the upgrade? So the iPhone 5 arrived. The first step really is to connect your iPhone 4 onto iTunes, to transfer any purchases that you've made in terms of applications on the device onto your iTunes, and to make sure that you've got a copy of the pictures that are on there. I just manually took a copy of those as well as then did a backup. Once the backup was complete and the applications I purchased were transferred in, I checked those into the system and then went through the startup process of the iPhone 5. Now, because there's two different SIMs involved, you need to think about this quite carefully as to when you're doing it. You obviously need to call your SIM provider, so your network provider, and say, can you activate my new SIM? And you give them that little number that's on the SIM. They, in their wisdom, will say that it'll take between 4 and 48 hours. So quite usefully, you then need to carry both devices around with you. As it happened in my case, I was busy right in the middle of writing an important email and everything stopped. Now, I made the conscious effort not to plug that SIM in until the SIM was deactivated. I've had some reports from people saying messaging stopped working effectively when they plugged the SIM in without having registered it first. So when this phone went off, I then plugged in the iPhone 5, plugged the SIM in, turned it on, and when I finished my train journey home, got connected to my iTunes and went through the setup process. Luckily by now Apple seemed to have got this pretty well sorted out, and at the point of running through the setup process, you'll be given a couple of options. One of those is to connect via wireless, one of them is to connect over the network, the 3G network, and the final one is to connect via iTunes. I'd strongly recommend going through iTunes. It just seems to be much easier. Then ran through and selected the restore on the device and just picked up, plugged into iTunes, picked it up from iTunes where it said what you want to do to the phone, and I said install with this backup and left it to do what it needed to do. Coming back to it 45 minutes later, I noticed that the pictures on the new iPhone weren't quite there yet, but they had copied a good couple of hundred already. I've got 2,500 pictures on there. So I left it for another 45 minutes, came back and everything synchronized across. You still then have to resync all your music files, any videos and things that you've got on there. So give yourself a couple of hours to do that, because it's not that fast. Well, it's faster than the old one, but it's still going to need a couple of hours. Finally, I went through and checked all the applications, and I noticed that a number of them hadn't come across, so I had to reinstall them. Facebook was one. For some reason, I don't know why they didn't come across. LinkedIn was another. You'll still need to put your passwords back in again. On the whole, though, I thought the process was a lot less painful than I've had in the past, and I think in some parts that was because the conscious effort to back up everything first of all really paid off. hope that helps you in your quest for getting a new iPhone. Thank you.